Hi, everybody. Hi, Alberta. Hi, Dr. Afia. Good evening. Just trying to see where else.
Hi, good evening.
Thank you. Trust you are doing better now.
Yeah, so I'm having lozenges as I'm talking to you.
Okay. Can rest your voice for a bit while others join us. I don't know. All right. Thank you all for being here. Good evening once again. My name is Esther Amofa, for those who don't know. I'm the founder of Conversations on Women's Health. And tonight I'm going to be your host for this conversation. The fact that you are here means a lot. It means that you are ready to learn, because I know a lot of us grew up in homes, in schools, in places where these kinds of conversations were not had a lot. And so, or were not explained in the right ways. So, we are here to have this conversation that is long overdue, to clarify a lot of things, to give us the necessary insights into our own bodies that we need to thrive as women and as girls. So, thank you once again for being here this evening. So, just to let you know that we are recording this session. The recording will be made available to you um, upon request. It will also be in our Instagram bio. The link will be in our Instagram bio, so you can check it out from there as well. All right. So let me see how many people are here right now. Okay, let me see if we can get just a few more people to join us. Then we zoom right into our conversation with Dr. Afia. Please invite your friend, tell your friend that we are on. Tell them that the conversation is about to be juicy, so they don't want to miss out. All right, I think we can begin. We have a gentleman joining us today. Hi, Alfred. You're welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. So, Dr. Afia, I would like to introduce Dr. Afia to all of us. I've been looking forward to this conversation for a while. Since I saw Dr. Afia, I became her acquaintance. I have been really looking forward to the day she will join us to have this kind of conversation. And she's a women's health advocate, and she's also a medical professional. She's a full doctor. And I think you can check her out on Instagram. Her handle is Dr. Afia Amponsah. So you can check her out on Instagram. She does a lot. She's so inspiring. And from her posts, from what she's doing on Instagram and in her life, in real life, you would know that she's one of the open and honest voices around women's health. She's very passionate about it. Earlier this year, I think it was on 3rd January to about 5th January, something like that. She held one of the biggest women's health screening in Ghana. She did something amazing during that time. It was for 30 hours and it was free to all. Very, very inspiring. Like I said, she's so inspiring. So I'm really looking forward to have her talk to us today. So Dr. Afia, welcome once again to Conversations on Women's Health. Thank you for joining us this evening. We are so grateful to have you here.
Thank you for inviting me. Hi, everyone.
Hi. All right. So,
Yeah, time for me to show my camera.
yes, please.
Mm. Also, I should go off.
You know someone who has joined
Me?
I thought you were saying someone should go. That's
Oh, no,
fine.
I was saying, should I go off camera? I didn't know if it was time for me to turn
Oh,
on the
no,
camera. That's not.
yes. Please be on camera. We are having a
Mm.
conversation. Thank you for joining us once again. So, would you like to give more introduction to of what you've been doing? Tell us a bit more about yourself.
Why can't I see your face? Go. I
You
can
guys,
see you.
okay? All right.
Hi, everyone. So, I am Dr. Afia Amponsah, triple A, or Energizer batteries, whatever you call me. Yeah, yes. Sorry, my camera is messing up. I think this is whatever is messing up, but yeah, you can see me.
Yeah.
So, first of all, I'm so sorry. I have a sore throat. So, if you can't hear me, just like raise your hand or something in it. I'll try speaking louder. I'm a woman's health advocate, like Esther said. I'm so grateful to be here. Esther, thank you so much for inviting me. This is a
Yeah.
safe space for me. These are spaces I find so much fulfillment in because there are so many questions that, go unanswered. And we turn to social media and we turn to the internet. While the internet is a good resource and social media is also a good resource because I am on social media myself, it's very difficult to tailor what social media is telling you to yourself. So you've
Mm,
realized that when people comes into my consulting room or even in my comments,
mm,
people are asking, even though I have made a video that is addressing their concern, they are still going on to ask further questions because they need information that is tailored to them.
yeah.
So the world is a pool. You might not know what to take. It's garbage in, garbage out. So I have taken it upon myself to be part of the good garbage that people take in
Okay.
by spreading much more information and awareness about women's health and the importance of knowing yourself and being there for yourself. Yes. So I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much once again. And I like everything that you said. That's why you are here today. We are so excited to have you. So many comments showing the excitement to have you here this evening. So let's get into it, right?
Right. Let's go.
All right. So today we've told everybody that we are going to be understanding fertility. We want to understand what it actually means. I think that a lot of us use the word fertility without really knowing what it actually means. We were taught that it's sort of a destination, not necessarily a system. And so I want to ask you, what is fertility really? And how does a woman's body experience it from month to month?
Okay, so fertility in simple terms is your body's ability to produce an egg, fertilize the egg, and then create a safe environment for the egg to grow into what we call a baby.
Mm,
So it's your body's ability, like it's not a one time thing,
yeah.
neither is it a continuous thing. It comes in seasons. That's why we have something called the fertility window, the
Okay.
biological clock. These are terms that have been coined because it has to be emphasized that someone doesn't just wake up and say you're fertile for being fertile sake. It's not a state, it is a period. It can pass. It is
Mm,
not a continuous state.
okay. That's really good. So when people say that I want to understand my fertility, what are they really saying? What are they trying to understand in a nutshell?
That's so let's say popular opinion and then what it is medically. Popular opinion when someone says I want to understand my fertility is basically I want to know if I can have a baby or not.
Mm,
Either depending on my age, my family history, my environmental factors, or my menstrual flow. When someone says I want to understand my fertility, I want to know about my fertility, that's basically what they're talking about. In medical sense, emphasizing it is a period where your hormones have been arranged in such a way that it's in a cycle. So I made this post in my private Instagram community called Thrive, and I said it's very important for you to track your menstrual cycle. It's much
yeah,
more important even at a very young age because it can tell your mood swings, the time that you're most effective, the time that you're most productive, your inner winter, your inner summer, your inner autumn, and your inner spring.
yeah.
So coming back to your question, now, hey, I lost. What was your question again?
So you were clarifying the popular opinion of fertility versus the medical
Yes,
or the
yes, yes.
actual exactly.
So in the medical sense, like I was saying, um when you say okay someone is fertile, it's just a play of how their hormones are in such a cyclical order that
Mm,
when it is time for them to release an egg, their body releases an egg. When it's time for the egg to be fertilized and it emits a sperm, it is fertilized. When it's time for, if there's no fertilization and it's time for the lining of the uterus, which was preparing for a baby to be shed, it's actually shed, and then you have your menses. So I have this boss I trained with an OBGYN, and anytime women come to him and they're like, oh, doc, please, I want to check if I'm fertile. He's like, are you having your menses every month? He's like, yeah. Then they're like, yes. So, like, do you have breasts? Yes. He doesn't see why you should be bothered about whether you're fertile or not. Because his thinking is that once you're able to have a regular menstrual flow, then it
mm,
means that your system is able to go through the 28 or 35 day cycle on
mm.
its own. Your body has been able to form a cyclical order. So for him, once you're able to have your period and you're able to track your period, why aren't you fertile? So
Yeah.
medically, that's how it's seen.
Okay. That's really good. That's very, very insightful. So
Yeah.
what actually happens to fertility as a woman grows older? And at what point should women start paying attention to the whole fertility issues?
So fertility naturally declines with age.
Mm,
So it declines with age because I always say that women are born with all their eggs. Men produce their sperms on a daily basis. So if you don't remember anything from this conversation, remember that men have a 24-hour cycle and women have a 28-day to a 35-day cycle.
Hmm.
Their hormones are renewed every day. Ours is a whole 28 or 21 or 35-day cycle. Now, with women, we are born with all our eggs at birth. About 4 million eggs are produced, or you come with about 4 million eggs when you are born.
Hmm.
Majority of those eggs never materialize. And it depending on when you start your menses. If you start your menses at the age of 10 or you start your menses at the age of 12, it means that you are going to be losing much more of your eggs at an earlier rate and you might
Hmm.
enter into menopause early. Please, are you all on the same page?
Yeah.
So, based on the average, scientifically, by the age of 30, there is some decline, which your body would realize, or which you would realize. By 35, there is a drastic decline. It doesn't mean that you can't get pregnant, but you'd have to be much more intentional about how to get pregnant and the things to do to get pregnant, because now you'd have to be supporting the few viable eggs that are there. Because every month, even though it's one egg that is released and then comes and passes as your menses, there are a lot of eggs that are being prepared to be released. Not all of them materialize. The one that materialize or the two that materialize is what ends up being shared as your period if it's not fertilized.
Hmm.
So women have to start being concerned about their fertility window or their biological clock. That's what we say, a biological clock. Because by the age of 35, your biological clock is not ticking, it has been talk. If there's ever such a thing. It means that by which age you should be looking at much more advanced techniques to getting um fertile,
Hmm.
and you should, I mean, at 35, it's called advanced maternal age. So even if you easily get pregnant at 35, you are categorized as advanced maternal age because it is seen that at the age of 35, even being a mother at that age is stress to your body. So there are
Hmm.
certain precautions that have to be taken um at that age. Yeah, basically.
Okay, great.
Mm.
So, what about in your early 40s? What do you need to do, if anything, to just guard yourself along the pregnancy lines?
This is a very general question. So you have to give me tech context. So if you say the age of 40, has a person given birth before, has a person not given birth before, is a person wanting to give birth, what is the history?
Okay, so somebody who wants to give birth, having hasn't given birth before in their early 40s, is it possible? What does it look like?
There's nothing that's impossible. Oh. I'm an NSPPDN. Just what God cannot do does not exist. I'm telling you. There's nothing that's impossible. Even Sarah, how old was she when she gave birth? There's nothing that's impossible.
Oh yes, oh yes.
Um, it's just self-awareness. You
Mm.
know, the Bible says, please, I'm very criff. I'm sorry, but I'm very criff.
That we
The
are
Bible
picking.
says that for the lack of knowledge, my people perish. And that's why conversations about women's health is here. You understand?
Mm.
If you don't know that at the age of 35, your fertility window is declining or your biological clock is declining, and so you don't know when you're going to meet your husband, you don't know when you're going to take seed, by the age of 25, you should start preparing for your fertility. It's a
Mm.
non negotiable for any woman, whether married or not married. By the age of 25, collagen drops, estrogen levels, progesterone, there starts to be imbalances. That's why, even in the Islamic religion, they desire that you marry at the age of 18 to 22 is their prime because your
Mm.
eggs are like water, it's just coming around that time. By 25, there's some sort of changes in your body. By 30, there are drastic changes in your body. By 35, they've already called you a spinster. And it's not your fault. It is just It is just your time. You are in waiting. So whilst you are in waiting, it depends on how well you wait. When I say how well you wait, what are you doing? Are you tracking your period? Do you have a history? Do you have a baseline? I have a book that I'll talk about at the end of the event, but it's more or less like, what is your baseline in life? What are your baseline labs? Do you know your baseline cholesterol? Do you know your baseline BP? Do you know your baseline HB? What do you even know about yourself to even think of getting married in the first place? That's one question. What do you even know about yourself to even think of wanting to have a child? Like, what are you thinking? You don't know if you are diabetic, you don't know your family history, sickle cell, asthma, diabetes, also, you don't know anything about yourself. If you come to the hospital and we're asking you, you're like, oh, let me call my husband. Oh, let me call my mother. You don't even have a baseline for yourself. How then would you be able to know what medications you're supposed to take, how we are supposed to prepare? If you realize that you're overweight by the age of 25 to 30, 35, and you're not having, what measures are you taking to lose weight? Because I did a video on why it's important to lose weight to get pregnant, and people were not understanding. Basically, when you are overweight, it means that your insulin receptors are not able to break down glucose as fast. And then if you're not able to do that as fast, it also mimics androgens in your body. It's a whole
Hmm.
thing. I don't want to bore you
Hmm.
with. Oh,
Wow.
you saw that video? Yes. So, I mean, like, it's important to lose some weight. So if you are 40 and you're waiting, how well are you waiting?
Hmm.
Even biblically, when you're waiting, you don't just sit down and wait. You pray, you cover. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm trying to say? You don't just sit down and wait. What supplements are you taking? How is your skin looking like? How is your diet looking like? How is your self care? Because
Hmm.
if you are not exercising, if you are not working out, I always say, I'm branching out from the doctor mode into counselor mode. And you are
Oh.
40 years old and you are going to get pregnant and give birth, let's say 41, 42, and you're not physically fit. How are you going to be going for PTA meeting at 45? Like, let's be real. You'll be stressed. Because oh, Barbara, do you understand what I'm trying to say? You're not taking care of yourself. So as to whether or not you can do it. And right now, with the advance in technology, it's so easy, quote unquote easy. I'm using it lightly. But then it has become much more easy if you have the finances to be able to freeze your eggs. It has
Hmm.
become much more easy for you to do in vitro fertilization. It has become much more easy. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So for me, I've had people that have cancelled even just last week. And as I was talking to them, I was like, hey sis, you're 37. I'm not saying it's not possible, but that's why God has given us wisdom as doctors. And we have been able to develop strategies because we all know that we are not all on the same clock. Do
Yeah.
you understand what I'm trying to say? Biblically, some people, Penina gave birth early. Hannah, we don't even know how old she was when she had her son. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Sarah had hers at the age of what, 90 something. So speaking, even in our life, you don't know what is going to happen and when it's going to happen. So what you have to do is that you have to stay informed, prepare yourself for the anointing and for the breakthrough that you are looking for, prepare your body for the child you want, and prepare yourself for the life after the child you want.
Hmm.
And preparation could be financial and then physically. Financially, thinking that, okay, once I have this information, I can think of getting an IVF. I can think of getting an IUI. Some people even do surrogacy, and there's nothing wrong with surrogacy because their bodies cannot hold the pregnancy. Either their uterus is too weak, or their uterine lining, or they are old. If they carry the pregnancy, they might die. So
Hmm.
then they need someone else to carry their pregnancy because they want children. You can adopt. Before before all these things came to be, we were always talking about adoption. But then now that technology has, yes, prepare for clock it, prepare your life. For the life you want, you have to prepare. Oh. You have to prepare. So in a nutshell, don't let me go off tangents, but yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm so glad you've spoken about almost everything we've covered in this year, the past sessions we've had this year, the past live sessions we've had this year. It's like you are just reiterating everything that we've been saying.
Very. It's
Oh, on
happened.
point. Oh, wow. Wow. What a woman of God. All right. So, our next question. We are now talking about the signs, the signals, and what your body is telling you. Spent a lot of this month talking about the signs of ovulation, but I want us to go a bit deeper. So, what are the signs that a woman's cycle is healthy, and what should make her pause and pay more attention to herself?
I'll let you go and buy the book. Everybody will go and buy. Because it's talking. If I say the truth, no, honestly, if I say it now, you might forget. If you have
Okay.
it, it's just 33 pages and it's
Okay.
according to your age.
Mm,
So your age is very small. The reason why I'm saying that is because there are some red flags. Even when you're having a menstrual flow every month, there are still some red flags that you might ignore, that you shouldn't ignore, that people don't know.
mm,
So for you to, yes, for you to have a regular, for you to know you have a healthy cycle where you're not being promiscuous and Charlie, you want to know if you're fertile before you even start engaging a man, is having, it's called a cycle for a reason. It starts at one point and then it ends at another point.
mm,
Some people's own is 21 days, average is 28 days, maximum is 35. If you're having a period past 43 days and you are not pregnant, then it happens for 3 consecutive months, you should start looking into it.
mm,
If you are having predictable flow, it means that you know that okay, this is how your cycle is. Um, the day one is quite light, day two, day three is heavy, day four is light, day five is just watery and it goes. Once you have a predictable flow, it's also healthy. It means that your hormones are in that balance. And then pain,
mm,
minimal severe pain. It
mm,
is not a flex or a brag or to be having very painful periods. There's no
mm,
award for pain. I'm
mm,
telling you to. It's an indicator that there's something going very, very wrong. You're supposed
mm,
to have menstrual cramps, but if it comes to the point where it's disables you, you can't do anything. Like if it comes to that certain point, then you should be concerned. You should
mm,
seek medical attention.
mm,
You have to pay attention to irregular cycles, missed periods, excessive bleeding, where I said you know how your flow is like. So if it's not flowing as you want to, severe pain, and then excessive acne or facial hair that would make you even think of PCOS. So basically,
mm.
in a nutshell, those are the things you should be considering. If you've not been naughty, when I say if you've not been naughty, if you've not had any um hormones, when I say hormones, I mean you're not on oral contraceptive pill or you didn't take an emergency morning after pill,
Mm,
then it should be normal. If you take a morning after pill, the reason why your menses is not the way you expect it to be is because now the extra hormones. So it's either it will be more painful or it will delay or it will not come because the extra hormones. There's if you're someone who really watches my videos, you know what I'm saying. I
yeah.
would have done a quiz, but yes. If your period is coming, it means that progesterone is low, estrogen is low. So if you are taking an emergency contraceptive pill, which is progesterone only, it means that your menses is going to delay, or
Mm,
it might, do you understand? It might be much more painful because there's supposed to be some withdrawal of progesterone for your menses to come.
yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So if all
Mm.
things are equal and you're not naughty, maybe that's how you know that you have a healthy cycle.
Okay. Very good. So it also means, or it also reminds us of the importance of tracking because we need to be able to track to know what
That
is
one is
normal.
not a negotiable. Oh. You are saying it like it's a negotiable. It's not a negotiable. Well,
Yeah.
remind me to teach you guys a thrive. I have a framework.
Okay.
It's a trademark framework. So I'll
Okay.
teach you afterwards.
Okay. Yes. So non-negotiable, Doctor, if you have said it here. non-negotiable. You need to track to be able to know what is normal for you. So that when you see that something is off pay, you know that your body's trying to talk to you. Okay. So our next question is, can you tell us or can you walk us through what PCOS is actually like, or what it is actually in very simple language that everybody can understand? And and whether it means, a lot of people say once it's PCOS, it means that you can't conceive. Is that true?
Next time I hear someone say that, I'll knock the person. Hey, I will knock the person. Do you know how many people have given birth that had PCOS? Excuse
Mm,
you.
mm, mm,
Hey,
mm,
boy, yeah.
mm,
Anyway, polycystic ovarian syndrome is, in a nutshell, it's a hormonal imbalance. It's a hormonal condition where ovulation is irregular due to the imbalances in your hormones. Simple.
mm,
This one, everybody can repeat it. It's a hormonal condition that affects ovulation.
mm.
If you understand,
Yeah.
due to the imbalance of your hormones. So the imbalance can be insulin and androgens. Imbalance can be estrogen, progesterone. There's just an imbalance. You're luteinizing hormone, and when you have androgens, I did a video on it. When you have androgens, which is the male hormones, that's what gives you the facial hair. That's some women who have beard. It's because they have a lot of androgens. They don't need the male hormones, but they have it. We can't do anything about it.
Mm,
So it affects how the eggs are developed. It affects how, so, I mean, it's a whole cycle,
yeah.
but it affects how the eggs are developed. And sometimes the eggs can be developed, and then when it's time for it to be released, it falls or collapses. Then that's what leads to their irregular menses.
Mm,
So,
interesting.
PCOS in a nutshell. But it doesn't mean that they cannot conceive, because once you know that it is hormonal, you have to address it from different factors. It's either you're addressing it from the hormonal side by balancing your hormones, like I said, losing weight so that you'd have less insulin, which is also feeding the androgens, or you would how do you call it? That's lifestyle changes, so losing weight, or you tackle it from the ovulation part where you're optimizing ovulation such that you are helping your body boost its ability to be able to release good quality eggs.
Mm,
Do you understand?
mm,
Or fertility support where you are getting IVF or IUI or whatever. So if you say someone PCS can't conceive, you are not being fair.
mm,
It's not fair. They
mm.
just have to take extra precautions. So imagine someone who is 35 and has PCOS. I trans and the person can never, then the person should, I might as well not get married. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, so that is what they are trying to tell you. I've heard a lot
Mm.
of people say this actually, that means you have to either get pregnant quickly. Somebody was telling me that that was the recommendation of the doctor, that they should find somebody to impregnate them as quickly as possible.
Maybe see Makuma, why? What do you tell us? And heart. That is ignorance. That is ignorance. Because my question then to that doctor would be that if all things are equal, meaning that the person's hormones are still imbalanced, the person's lifestyle is not modified, if all things are still the same, whether the person does it now or 2 years' time, are the person's chances. The person has to make some changes.
Mm,
So if you say tell the person that, oh, go and lose weight and get pregnant, I understand that you're being cheeky, but that is the truth. The person has to lose weight to get pregnant. Do you understand?
yeah,
Eh, please don't be condemning people. You don't know
it's
what they are going through.
it's no easy. Oh. So I want to piggyback off what you said. Is there something like becoming more fertile, and how do you do it?
Hey, this you want to trap me.
Uh,
I wouldn't term it as becoming more fertile. I'll just say optimizing fertility because I feel like every woman is fertile. You just have to optimize it. That would be a better way to phrase it.
okay.
How do you optimize your fertility window? Yes. your fertility window. So the first one would be to maintain a good diet,
Mm.
maintain a healthy weight. Second one would be to manage conditions. So, like I said, have a baseline. What is your baseline in life? Everybody here, all the 17, 18 people here, shame on you. Then I did a video, shame on you, went viral. I don't know why I went viral, but shame on you if you do not know your baseline. You do not know your family history. You don't even know what your grandfather died of. Shame.
Mm.
In fact, right now, I'm going to do a video and say shame on everybody. Remind me, yes, I text me, remind me, I say I'll do a video shaming everybody.
Mm.
Shame. You have to know these things. You have to know your baseline. What is your thyroid function like? What is your AMH like? AMH is your ovarian reserve. You don't even know your ovarian reserve. You don't, just say, "When him yet you want to get pregnant. You say you want your fertility to go. Like, how? How can you help me help you? How? You understand? It
Yeah.
makes the work difficult too. And
Hmm.
then that's how people end up changing doctors like 5 times because they want to get pregnant. But you're not doing what they are saying you should do. Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
getting emotional. I'm getting very upset because you know yourself, you don't even know yourself. You won't need more.
This matters.
If we say that, what so then my question to you, Esther, is that how do you understand fertility? When someone says that I've been married for 1 year and I've not been able to have a child, like how do you people understand it? It's supposed to be regular unprotected sex. What do you know what regular is? This definition I'll never forget in medical school. I'll never forget. They said regular unprotected sex is having sex 3 to 4 times. Also be calming. Regular unprotected sex is 3 to 4 times a week. Is regular. Do you understand?
Hmm. Okay.
In medical school, oh, this one is not someone who told me. This is medical school. They asked
Wow.
me in medical school 3 to 4 times a week is what you call regular unprotected sex. Do you understand? So
Wow.
you let the man rest 3 days per. So you decide how you do the roster for yourself. So you can't come and tell me that, doc, I've been trying with my husband for the past year. So it's regular unprotected sex. Um, it is regular consecutive. No, regular unprotected sex, which is 3 to 4 days in a week for 12 consecutive months. Like, so every month you are trying. It's not like you
Hmm.
try this month and next month you don't try. It's
Hmm.
12. Do you
Hmm.
understand? So that's why we say that after 1 year, if you're not having a baby, then we should start expecting. But that 1 year, if you're angry with your husband this time, you're having ovulation and you didn't do the do, and then the
Oh.
next month you didn't do the do, it is not
Oh.
12 months consecutive, oh, my sister.
Hmm.
Please don't come and tell me you're infertile or you're having fertility when yourself, your house witches are doing you. I
Hey.
cannot help you with that one. Yes. So consecutive. Oh, hmm. So yes, then you have to track your ovulation. Now, when it comes to tracking ovulation, how many of you know that some people have their eggs are released on their menstrual day, the day of their menses? Please
Hmm.
raise your hand. I want to know.
Hmm.
You know. Oh, they can raise their hand. I'll bet you know.
I'll
Some
bet.
people will be fighting for their whole life that they are not fertile. The Lali too says she knows. Some people will be fighting, Harriet, that's good. Some people will be fighting their whole life that they are not fertile and they've done all the tests. Sister, have you ever tried having sex on the day of your menses before? It's
Hey.
true. Because some people have their ovulation. You put Esther, I didn't tell them that the conversation was going to be heated. It's like they are not prepared. I don't
They
filter.
come in.
Social media, I don't filter them when we are one on one. I don't filter. Eh? Because on a very serious note, guys, if you have been trying, because I'm hearing things. If you have been trying, and this you're trying is not trying, and you're not including the day of your period, sister, you're not trying hard enough. We didn't break it.
Hmm.
Because sometimes the apps deceive you.
Hmm.
And sometimes you may not be ovulating. You might have the symptoms of ovulating, but you are not ovulating. So that's why technology has been developed for us to have ovulation strips. So you can actually test, depending on the pH of your vagina, if you're actually ovulating or not, and the peak of your ovulation. Because see, something like flow or apple, they are just calculating based on your 28-day cycle and then your 14th day, and they're telling you your peak window. Sis, they are not in your body.
Hmm.
So if you are really struggling and your struggling is really struggling, get an ovulation test kit and check if you're actually ovulating to see if it is in line with what your app is saying. And that's the only way you can believe your app. And you cannot track your ovulation when you're not tracking your menses, because you can't just go and put, okay, so you started menstruating 21st of April, then you put it in your calendar, 21st of April. Then you are coming to now calculate your ovulation when you've not tracked for 3 months. So stay engaged, don't work. Because yeah, you need at least 3 months of tracking your period to know your exact cycle.
Hmm.
And then you can track your ovulation. So me like this, if like the patient comes and then they're talking about fertility, I always give them 3 months. Give yourself 3 months. I'll give you 3 months. I'll give you 3 months. Talk to your partner. Let them be in agreement. The body has its way of doing things. God has his way of doing things. How are you helping yourself? It's only when you've done all you can with prayers and fastings when you say that, oh, this one day I've done everything I can do. Even that, there's still something called faith. So I
Yeah.
didn't plan on preaching today, but people have made me preach. Then the last but not the least is to reduce stress and improve your sleep. Good sleep is so underrated. When your
Hmm.
cortisol levels are high, do you know how much it damages your egg?
Hmm.
Be like this at risk healthcare workers, especially those who do night shifts, security people, because the higher your cortisol, the more imbalanced your hormones will be. And the more imbalanced your hormones is, how then do you have a regular menstrual cycle? So sleep is not is so underrated. Like sleep is up there. Sleep is up there with all the things you want to achieve in life.
Wow. I like that you mentioned the stress part because a lot of people don't realize how much it affects our cycle and us as human beings, actually. So, very key. Okay, so is there a difference, or what is the difference between fertility awareness and contraception?
These ones they are opposite to conception or contraception. Contraception, they say are doing the opposite of wanting to be fertile. It's
No, being
opposite
aware of your fertile window and using contraception
to
is still
prevent
right.
pregnancy.
Yeah,
Mm.
when people do the fertility awareness as a thing, like how they prevent themselves from getting pregnant. When they are aware of their fertile period, they know that, or their fertile window, should I say, they know not to have sex during that time, and that is their way of just preventing
Your
pregnancy.
safe period. So yes, it is good. All this boils down to the thrive I'm talking about. It is very good to track your period.
Yeah.
It's not negotiable. It's so the only way that you can even know if the contraception you are using is actually causing much more damage than good. If your safe period is actually your safe period, because guys, I know people who have gotten pregnant in their safe period. Oh.
Hmm.
You can't fool God though. Like, see, we doctors and scientists, all we've done is study the body. Oh. But the one who created the body, we can't control him. Do you
Hmm.
understand?
Hmm.
So, I mean, there are people. I have a friend right now. She's delivered. Hey, has she delivered? I'll text her. I have a friend there. As I'm talking to you, as you see me. She was bragging. She has 2 kids already. She was bragging and boasting that she has an IUD. So for 2, 3 years, she's not going to get pregnant. Sister, you know,
Hey,
can say by now,
hey,
and the
hey,
child will
this
come out
one.
holding the IUD.
Oh
This
my.
is to say that
There's somebody on
this
this call.
is
Oh.
ah, this is to say that see, what's logging off. This is to say that you can try what you can by the grace of God. You have to be self-aware. It's the first thing you have to do. You have to be self-aware.
Yeah.
It's the only way that you can actually build something. But
Mm.
no contraception is 100%. Even when you read the label, they write it.
Mm.
Emergency contraception, crown share, crown away in ectopic. Adiano, if I find so in fact, that's the truth of the matter. Do you understand? So it's very good to be aware
Yeah.
to aid contraception. And it's for contraception, it's a whole different conversation. If we say we are going into it, if we say we are going into it right now, we'll finish. But contraception is contraception. You just leave it like that. Contraception.
Okay. Thank you so much. And this is what you've been saying the whole of this month, actually. And Dr. Afia has just put it in simple, very relatable terms for us. So, moving on, we are coming home to Ghana. If somebody or a woman suspects that something is wrong with her cycle or with her fertile period, her fertility, what can she realistically expect from the healthcare system in Ghana? What should she do and what can she expect from our healthcare system?
Ask your question again. Ask it in a different way.
So
Ask it
I
not
am
like a question you have prepared. Ask it like how you want me to answer it.
okay. So I'm Esther. I'm a woman. I'm thinking that there's something wrong with my cycle. I'm suspecting that maybe it's not as regular as it should be. What should I do in the first place? And then when I go to the hospital, what can I expect from a doctor?
How many minutes do I have? Hey, my time is almost out. Oh, my son is sleeping. How many minutes do I have?
Since we began a bit late, we I think we have about 30 more minutes to wrap up
Hey,
everything. So this is just
but
for
you
this
leave me.
particular session. We have just 10 minutes more. And then we'll allow people to ask their questions. That's what will take a lot of the time, I think.
Because I thought we were finishing. I said, you remember I told you I had work.
Yeah,
Oh, you
yeah.
forgot it.
Yeah,
I
so
have a nice shift.
unfortunately.
So
Okay, so
I actually
let's
can't
see
stay
what we
long,
can.
but let me just role play.
Okay.
Hi, Esther. Welcome to my consulting room.
Hi, Dr. Ifya. Oh, hi, doctor.
So, what
So,
brings you here today?
so I think I've been trying to track my cycle for a while, and I'm noticing some irregularities with how often I get my period.
How long have
And
you been checking your period?
hmm, on and off. Whenever I have a period, I mark it down. So that's how I've been
So,
checking.
you are not aware of how many days your cycle is.
Not really. Not really.
And then when you say it has been off, is it that one day, one time it delayed, or what do you
Yeah.
mean? Is it in with?
So 1 month it delays for a few days. Another month it delays for maybe a week. A week
Are you
long.
sexually active?
No, I'm not sexually active.
You're not taking any contraceptive pills.
No.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
Have you had any labs done? How are your hormones like? Have you done
Hmm.
a pelvic scan before?
No.
Is there any family history of PCOS, fibroids, infections?
Maybe fibroids, maybe. I think I've heard an auntie talk about fibroid before,
These
but
are the kind of patients I don't like in my life.
this is the
So when you
typical
come to the
Ghanaian
health
woman, though.
care, not in my consulting room, when you come to the hospital, you are basically going to take a detailed history, just like we did right now. Based
Yeah.
on the history, then we are going to tailor make the care to you. So based on what information you give us, you will be asked to do your labs to know your basic, I mean, the history will tell us your basic medical review, then your labs, your hormonal tests, your pelvic scan, all those things. And then if you have any infections whatsoever, it will be addressed. Now, after all those things have been assessed, and then you and the doctor have a clear understanding of where all of you are, then we can build for there to customize the treatment plan based on yours. So if you say that you are 30, you are not sexually active? What are the plans of getting married? What are the plans for conception? Why are you here? If you say you are here for your baseline, okay, these are your baseline based on your age. I think you should start thinking of pregnancy within the next 1 or 2 years. That's what to expect. If you go to a specialized care, they would consider IVF, fertility clinics. It all depends. That you see, the Ghanaian healthcare system, in as much as we want to advocate for universal healthcare, which is something that is good, we should also advocate for personalized healthcare, because
Mm,
the fact that we are all women and we are all wearing skirts doesn't mean that some women don't prefer to wear trousers. It doesn't
mm,
mean that some women don't prefer to have natural hair and some decide to have permed hair. The fact that we all have a vagina doesn't mean that we all have the same symptoms. That's why people have irregular periods and people don't. So we cannot generalize women's health. That's my point in life.
yeah.
We cannot generalize women's health because every woman is different. Every
Mm,
woman shows up differently. Every woman reacts differently to the same things that has been standardized. So that's why it's difficult to answer your question, because what you get from the healthcare system is dependent on what you feed the healthcare system and how well you know yourself. I hope I've answered your question.
yeah, very great. Very good. So before you
Mm.
go, I know you need to drop off. We had so we are basically in the Q&A session now. So please, if you have a question, kindly drop it in the chat session. So we had a question come in with from one of the people who registered for this. I'm not sure if she's here right now. She says that she had preeclampsia last year, which led to the termination of her pregnancy. She's trying again this year. So she wants to,
Preeclampsia at how many weeks?
she didn't
Because
say.
preeclampsia, if you're having preeclampsia and your child is like, what, 28 weeks, 29, 30 weeks, the child could have survived though, with an incubator. But I'm listening. I'm listening.
Yeah, so it's basically she's just asking for what she can do since she's trying again this year. How can she
We
better her
need,
chances?
we need to know her age
Yeah.
and then how long the pregnancy was. Her age will help us know what she's supposed to do. But folic acid, evening primrose oil, like I said, this one is general. It's not customized. You go and do it and you don't conceive. It's not me, because it is personalized care. So folic acid, evening primrose oil, exercise, pray. Don't dwell on the past. Let your body learn. Because ideally, had she delivered, which I'm sure she did, the baby just didn't survive. You're supposed to have at least 2 year interval for your body to heal. So if you are trying again this year, allow yourself, have good sex. Don't have sex because you want to conceive. Vejare. Have good sex, because if you're having sex because you want to get pregnant, it puts so much tension on the relationship. It puts so much pressure, and it now goes from every month to month, buying test strips month to month. And that's what they told me. They told me this one is not medicine. So they told me that pregnancy, and we are not thinking about it when it comes.
That's
From
when
my
it comes.
experience, that's what they told me. It worked. I don't know for everybody else. The medical part there, take your supplements, exercise, pray, everything will
Mm,
be fine.
all
And
right.
and for the preeclampsia, she has to, you see, you don't just get up and have preeclampsia. It means that there's probably existing hypertension in her family she's not aware about, or cholesterol in her family she's not aware about. And if she has these pre-exposing things, then she has to actively work on herself, exercise, reduce her BMI, reduce certain things so that she doesn't have the preeclampsia again. And if she has a good doctor who knows her history, the person would put her on aspirin to begin with so that the preeclampsia doesn't even come during the pregnancy. So me, I'm not a doctor. I can only advise based on what you've told me, which is not conclusive.
Yeah.
So she has to see her doctor and then have a comprehensive assessment.
Okay. Great.
Yes.
Great. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for sharing so much of your insights and your knowledge with us today. So, audience, the floor is open. Before Dr. Ifya has to leave us, if you have a pertinent, pressing question, please let us have it. You can use the link I've shared in the chat. If you would rather like to be anonymous. Yeah, all right.
So while we are waiting, Esther, I don't know if you can share the link I shared with you for my book.
Okay.
It is what every woman should know in her 30s, 40s, and 50s. I think it would help. And even at the end, I put a bonus for the questions you should ask your doctor when you go to the hospital. There's
Mm,
nobody that has bought it that has regretted it, because when you come to the hospital, sometimes, not sometimes, most of the time, we have a limited time to see everyone. I visited a hospital in Canada. The average time you're supposed to see the doctor is 15 minutes.
wow.
If your conversation spans more than 15 minutes, the furthest you can go is an extra room of 3 minutes, making it 18 minutes.
Wow.
Any further than 18 minutes, you're going to pay $50. Fine.
Wow.
You see, we are living a luxury life in Ghana. That is to say that because of the heavy load of the clinic, every time you're going to the hospital, it has to be concise. Like what you want from the doctor has to be concise so that you can optimize what the doctor will say and then everything. So having 10 minutes with GP in UK.
Wow. Hey.
So that's so you understand. So that's why this book is very important, because
Yeah.
even at the end, it shows you what you're supposed to ask your doctor based on the signs that you have. And
Mm,
if I've written it myself, trust me, it's good stuff.
good
Good stuff.
stuff. Good
Yes. And
stuff.
there are red flags for people whose parents are menopausal or they themselves are even entering into perimenopause. How many of us knew that perimenopause, so that's if you get an appointment. Perimenopause is 7 years before your period actually stops. And during those 7 years, it is torment and torture.
Mm,
So if your mom or someone you know is going through it, please bear with them. You can get
mm,
them the book and then let them know that, okay, these are the symptoms they're supposed to do. The hard copy, it would be out in July. Right now, it's just a soft copy there. It's just an ebook. It's just 33 pages. So for it to be an actual hard copy, I would have to write more stuff, which I've been lazy about. But yeah, it's an ebook. It's just 33 pages. Anyway, you're waiting for questions. So me, I have work. I have a night shift. So I have to be leaving this.
in a few minutes. Uh,
So please ask me questions. So
please ask Dr. Ifya questions. Don't let her go with all this wisdom. Somebody says, does PCOS affect one's fertility? I think you've covered that.
mhm.
If there's anything more you want to add. At what age won't a lady be able to give birth? I think you've covered that as well, which is basically never, if you have their faith.
You can freeze your eggs, guys.
Yeah.
Like actually, you see, Ghanaians say it's right there. And then finances is also a barrier. But honestly, maybe one day in life, I should aspire to finance some of these things for people.
Mm,
Because if you are 28, I mean, you can't tell when you get married or when you get pregnant. But if you are between 22 to 28, there should be a system where you can freeze your eggs. Like, do you understand? When they are so ripe and they are so healthy, I think there should be a system where you can freeze it so that whenever you are ready. But I know, so how many years? They'll bumper charge you a power because they are freezing it for how many years? But yeah, I mean, it should be a conversation where you can freeze your eggs when they are most, ripe and active. Mhm.
okay, so we have a question here. It says, can I get pregnant even if my period is irregular?
Honey, you can get pregnant once you regularize your menses. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. See, God is not he is God. He is detailed. It is a cycle for a reason. Do you understand? So that
Mm,
there's some predictability in your life. If your relationships are not predictable and your husband annoys you every day, at least your period should not disappoint you. So if your periods are irregular, then you have to work to regularizing it. And that's why we give some people oral contraceptives. I know some of you have heard of it before. Once you take the oral contraceptives, when you stop taking it, your period comes. You continue. When you stop taking your period comes. That is just so that your body now builds a rhythm. Please you understand? Of
yeah.
having a constant period.
Okay. So, someone has a question that ties into another question here. So, two in one. Does using contraception for a long time damage your fertility? And the other question is, when do the irregularities that come with the emergency pill wear off?
Yeah, I see. I won't go to jail because of this conversation.
Hey.
Please. It depends on the pill you are taking and the manufacturer. I beg you, don't come for me. The truth about it is that every pill and then its timeline. See, the pills is just hormones. So there's progesterone only, and then there's progesterone and estrogen. Anytime you're buying a contraceptive, please find out which one you are buying. Nko. Don't just get up and say, I want Lydia. What are you using the Lydia for? Do you know what is inside? Is it progesterone only or is progesterone plus estrogen?
Mm,
Progesterone plus estrogen balances even some of the side effects. Progesterone only is what will sometimes cause the delayed period.
mm,
To answer your question, it really depends on if you use, see, if you use a morning after pill twice in a month, it's like you yourself, you don't even know whether you're in your safe period. So you took the morning after pill just so that you're safe. Then you did it again. Then you took the morning after pill 1 hour after because you think your ovulation is later in the day. Sister, I cannot help you. I cannot help you, Nko, because that one there you've taken double hormones. So even
mm,
up until the following month, you might still have irregular menses. Up on I say everything when it comes to these things, just regularize within 3 months free. 3 months. Take it in quarters. So if you took a lot of hormones, you there just give yourself about 3 months for your period to regularize. In terms of flow, in terms of cycle, in terms of everything. Please really understand.
yeah. Thank you so much. There's a question in the chat. The person is asking, what is your opinion on myomectomy?
Hmm. You want to get me to trouble, sister. Opinion. It has to be the opinion of your doctor because the truth about it is it's customized. There's some people who don't need myomectomy because their fibroid is small. There's some
Mm,
people who don't need myomectomy because where their fibroid is not in their uterus, so it is not affecting their fertility. It's on the wall of the uterus. Some
mm,
people may need a myomectomy because it is demyelinating. So, hey, is it demyelinating? No, it's not demyelinating. Hey, Mary, if you word, no, will come to me. Degenerating. Wabbing.
ah,
Degenerating. Thank you, Mandy. It's a degenerating fibroid. So there'll be so much pain. And once there's pain and the fibroid is big, why are we keeping it? Some people will be anemic because of their fibroid. It is taking all their blood because it feeds on blood.
mm,
You understand?
yeah.
So my view on myomectomy is if it is indicated, please go ahead and do it. You can actually even opt for a cesarean myomectomy so that when you're pregnant, when they take out the baby, they take the baby away, they remove your fibroid, you go a happy woman. Everything is out of your body. That is my view. I can take two more questions, otherwise I'll be late.
All right. So, uh,
I think the Lali raised a hand. I saw a hand.
okay.
Or it's
So,
gone down.
I think it's gone down.
Yeah,
Someone,
I raised my hand.
okay. Never
Okay.
knew.
Yeah, so I even put my question in the chat. I was asking if it's true that people can still get pregnant after their tubes have been tied.
Oh
Because I've heard,
yes. Oh yeah.
wow. So then
Ah,
there's no sure
there's nothing like
contraception.
no, no. I say the God who heaven and earth, no. Hmm. It's a musro, no. See, it's called recanalization.
Wow.
So the eggs that are the tubes that are tied. See, one day I wish I could do demonstration for you people. It's like you tie a water hose, then you cut the water hose, then you tie one end of the water hose, then you tie the other end of the water hose. See, in the body, this water hose that you've tied, some doctors are smart. So then they'll tie a very long distance and then tie it. But one way or the other, because your ovaries are still there, you're still having eggs being produced. It's still going through the canal and go. The only thing is that now the connection has been disconnected so that it doesn't even come for the sperm to meet it. That's the whole theory of it. Please, you understand? So at some
Yeah.
point, that's what we call the miracle. If you watch a Pastor Jerry, whoever, whichever pastors that you watch, and then they say that oh her womb came back, they cut her this thing, yes, she had a child. It's because recanalization. So
Hmm.
with time, the tubes can come back and join. Even if
Hmm.
it's not perfect, the egg will be able to pass through it.
Wow.
Yes. It is very rare, but it happens. So there's nothing like sure banker, sister. How do you think people are having a menopause babies? People are having pension babies at 50 something and they are pregnant. No more fairy say, Charlie. They didn't
Wow.
plan. They didn't know what happened. It came.
Wow. So someone is asking, she's somebody who is in her early 30s. She's been diagnosed with both PCOS and endometriosis. Is
Oh,
she going to
sorry
have
about
a
that.
very it's noisy. Is she going to have a very difficult time with conceiving?
Most likely.
Hmm. Why?
So, oh
Yeah.
no, this one, why you want to trap me? So
Oh,
already her uterine wall is very thick, and I mean she's having very painful periods and heavy periods. And then the PCOS, she's having irregular. So it is going to be a challenge because she has to go through a process of healing and then preparing her body. So at least she's done the good work. We have to clap for her because she at least she has done her baseline. So she knows what is wrong with her. So now, before she even thinks of getting pregnant or before she even thinks of meeting a man, she has to start doing the thorough work on herself. Thorough work is taking care of the endometriosis, which I mean, what much more can you do? But for the PCOS, at least going through the process of regularizing her period, tracking her ovulation, praying that she gets married and pregnant early because that is one way for it to all
resolve?
not
Really?
resolve, but then no, not resolve. But then you see, psychologically, when you get pregnant, it puts you at ease because it's as though that's all you've been fighting for because you were told you couldn't get pregnant. Do you
Yeah.
understand? So at that point, endometriosis wouldn't matter. Even when you're in pain, you know that it is for a greater cause.
Hmm.
At that point, you've defeated PCOS because what the enemy meant for evil, God has turned around for your good. So, just to ease everybody's mind, why not? If you are ready to have a child, try. There's nothing that's impossible.
Hmm.
I don't believe it. There's nothing that is impossible. Oh, yeah, the psychological bit is very interesting.
Yeah.
Some people, after they give birth, they even forget about their PCOS because, I mean, they don't like bleeding. Like, why should they be bleeding every month? They don't care. They have their children.
Yeah.
Or you can take pills if your doctor puts you on letrozole or clomid, and then you get your twins. I mean, you regularize your period, you get your twins. After that, you can decide not to take any medicine because if you don't have a period, does it kill anybody? It doesn't kill anybody. You have your babies. So the psychological part there is always there. Oh.
Hmm. I'm going to talk about this very soon because not just for even PCOS, I think that menses and the woman's cycle and their mental health, there's a connection. There's a connection between because
There
I've seen a lot of
is.
people who have very painful menses, but when they are in a state of, let's say, euphoria, their pain doesn't even come. They don't feel their pain anymore. So yeah, I want to.
So that's
And
what brings me. Oh, sorry.
oh yeah,
You
please
can
continue.
finish. So please, I have to run away.
You have to run
But
now.
before I go, I promise to teach you about the Thrive method. Please, it is my method. If you steal it, if I'll burn you. Because I am working on getting it trademarked. So
Mm,
Thrive stands for tune in. Tune in, you can write it down. Tune in means track your menstrual cycle. H is honor your body. So you honor your body, you honor your hormones. R is repair, not rescue. So routine screening is a must. I have partnered with Better Health and they do labs where all these things I'm saying, so all the labs in my book, you can get them to do it for you and then you track it every 3 months because you'll come home and take your blood samples and then it's a dashboard where you track your health. So you are no longer wondering what is happening with you, it happens instantly. Then inner health, where this is where mind matters. So that's where your point comes in about mental health. It's all encapsulated in my framework. And then V is for value your wellness. So your vital daily habits that sustain longevity, like vital daily habits like hydration, drinking a lot of water, like
mm.
exercising, getting something in. And then the E is for educate and then evolve. So, like conversations about women's health, you educate yourself, and it's only after you've educated yourself that you can evolve as a woman, that you can blossom as a woman. So, that is the Thrive framework. I would have to leave you guys. Thanks so much for having me.
Ouch. God
I
bless you.
appreciate it. God
I'm
bless you
sure
too.
everybody is so happy they came for this session. They are really grateful for your insights, for your wisdom. I'm sure we'll have another session with you very, very
By
soon.
God's grace,
Yes.
no problem.
Please have a great
Alrighty.
and we'll talk
You
soon.
too. Alrighty. Bye.
Thank you so much.